It doesn't matter which knitting style you're using, there is one very simple universal way how to think about your stitches so you don't get twisted stitches. I already have a video on how to recognize if you're getting twisted stitches, how to read your knitting. In my opinion, trying to think about front leg or back leg makes you more prone to errors while you're knitting. A better way is to look at which stitch leg is closest to the needle tip. Like right here, when you come across this purl stitch, it's mounted in the way that I knit for combination continental knitting. So you can see that closest leg to the needle tip is this one, and this is how I would knit it for combination continental. Even if the purl stitch was standing like this, where the leg closest to the needle tip is back leg, I would still purl it like this, and it's still not a twisted stitch. The same thing applies even to English knitting. If for whatever reason your stitch would be mounted like this, for example, you dropped stitches, you picked them up, and then suddenly they are mounted the wrong way, you would still knit through the back leg and wrap your yarn as normally, and then you would get normal non-twisted stitch. The same thing for Western continental knitting. If for whatever reason your purl stitch is mounted differently than you're used to, you simply purl through the leg that's closest to the needle tip without changing your usual knitting style. So literally, for getting non-twisted stitches, it doesn't matter how your stitches are mounted. The only thing that you need to remember is to make your stitches through the leg that's closest to the needle tip. And that's literally it. I've knit this last row in a variety of knitting styles, and none of the stitches are twisted despite them being mounted on the needles in different ways, and despite me using 3 different styles of knitting. The end result is always the same.